Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for the Never Ever Met Season 1, Episode 2. I hope you guys are doing good today. I am doing well. I am up, and it's damn near midnight, trying to pack my bags to go out of town. Why wasn't I already packed before I got off work? This don't make no sense. These are bad decisions. I don't know what it is in us. Is it black? Is it a black thing that packed the night before? Or is it not a black thing? Y'all let me, do y'all pack y'all bags the night before, even with good intention? These same clothes. I ain't even got nothing new. Wasn't even waiting on no orders to be packing this late. So anyway, we got the folks from last week, Alexis and Dominique. I'm going to pray I got everybody's name right. I hope that boy name ain't Demetrius. They get into their scuffle. And in the aftermath, they send Dominique to a hotel. I think both of them should have got sent to a hotel personally. I think they both should have got sent. But that's just my opinion. I do see Dominique going around in people's chats and community posts and all of that saying that they chopped it up weird. He didn't really do nothing. She was coming at him first, and that's why he pushed her. I don't know how they could have chopped that push up because he was already up on her at the time. Like, they were laughing. She was laughing. And it looked like, you know how somebody like be talking to you and they be putting their finger on your temple? It was that kind of conversation. He wasn't doing that, but he was like up on her like, do I disrespect you? Have I ever disrespected you? And she was kind of laughing, but he was like holding her. And then that's like when he pushed her. Now, he says that she apologized, then turned around and said that she don't give a F, and he didn't appreciate that was disrespectful. But my question is, Dominique, if they did, in fact, edit it to make it look like you pushed her first, when in reality she actually was coming at you, why weren't you talking about that when they separated y'all? You weren't saying none of that. You wasn't saying she rolled up on me, she wanted to fight me. You weren't defending the fact that you pushed her at all. You just kept talking about the disrespect that you received. And so it seems to me very hard to chop that up. So I don't know if I believe what he's saying, but anyway, he's talking about the disrespect that he received from her. And if you want to apologize. And you a whole female. I'm a man. Did I flirt with you? And Shay is like, well, no, you didn't flirt with me, but that's not what everybody else is kind of like, that's not what we talking about, really. We just talking about the putting of the hands. Y'all don't need to be putting your hands on each other. So they separate them. He has to leave. And then the next day, everybody's talking about what happened. I noticed Dominique kept saying, you a whole female. You know what I'm saying? You a whole female. I really hope he's not one of those guys who believe that because you're a whole female, you're supposed to hold yourself to some other kind of standard when it comes to men. This conversation that he had with Alexis about flirting is a conversation that you really should be having in any relationship. Fellas, I'm going to tell you something about the girls. I ain't going to give away the secrets, ladies. I'm going to just tell this just a little bit right here. You know how y'all are always asking, what happened to the women like our grandmas? Like, what happened to the women of our grandma's day? You know, the ones that did this. I'm going to tell you that those women are here. They just a little bit more out in the open, but those women are here. Because what you don't know is them muumuus and them long dresses and them pantyhose was coming down so that them grandmas could get their lick back. Now, I can't put my whole entire family business out there, and not my grandma. Okay, not mine. And if she was like that, she would tell me, trust me. But yeah, it was women out there getting their lick back. It was women out there flirting. Don't think just because it was another time, it was not stuff going on, especially before DNA was a child. Please. So those women are here. Okay, why you think your grandma wasn't out there doing it? They're very much here. And you have to have these conversations in a new relationship. Like, what do you consider flirting? Don't just assume that women are just so that they hold themselves to the standard where you never gonna have to worry about all of these different things. These are always conversations that you need as an adult to have to make sure that you all are on the same page, which is what I thought y'all did at the table. But maybe because there was alcohol involved, it was so late. I don't know. Maybe that y'all need to have that conversation at another time on another day when tempers were less flared. But these are conversations that you have in a new relationship, I think. Like, what do you consider flirting? Because I don't like this and you don't like this. Just so we can all be together on the same page. But don't assume that we holding ourselves to, no, I told y'all I'm around a lot of women. I ain't gonna tell the secrets, but I'm gonna just say, you better have some conversations with these women. You better not assume nothing. You're gonna be in the corner crying, rocking back and forth. So, everybody has their different opinions on it. The ladies are kind of like, oh, hell no. Or one of them, I think it was Diamond, was like, you should have came and got me. What you was going to do, Diamond? You was going to fight? You was going to fight that boy? No, you was not. Then you got Aaron in there. He trying to daddy everybody. He in there with the women. I said, I know that's right, Aaron. I didn't come here to hang out with the fellas. I came for my woman. But he in there trying to school everybody about abuse. And he was like, I was with a woman that was putting hands on me, and you can't bring nothing out of nobody that's not already in them. Like, I wasn't about to become abusive because she was abusive. I had to get out of that situation, and you gonna have to get out of this kind of situation too. You can't stay in it. You can't try to remember when it was good. You can't think about when the date was good or when he bought you something. You can't think about those times. You got to think about the times when you had to get a frying pan to defend yourself. I said, okay, Aaron, you better talk that talk. This daddy Aaron, big one, not the little one that's in the kitchen, big Aaron. And everybody was like, you right. So then Alexis started crying, child. They trying to console her because she in the confessionals talking about, I don't know if me and Dominique gonna talk this out. Once you put your hands on me, it ain't nothing to talk about. We're done. It's not even, we don't have to have a discussion about it. To me, I don't have nothing, no ties to you. We can go. The fellas, of course, I feel like they trying to stay on bro code about it. They not defending it, but they kind of just in the middle, like, oh yeah, when your ego get involved, you be hurt and tempers and all this other stuff. So they trying to keep it light. The guys are. Then we move forward because it's time to delve into something a little bit deeper and talk about what we're going to be doing the rest of the time. Alexis has to go and talk to the coach about the situation that happened. The coach is just reminding her that you can't make excuses for this kind of behavior because she did start kind of saying like, oh, we should have did this and I wish I hadn't done that. And she was like, that's true, but that's still no excuse for anybody to put their hands on you. They watch a message that Dominique had sent to her where he basically said he was sorry. And then he said that he didn't think it was that serious and he was hoping they could get past it. But it was that serious to her, and it should have been that serious to her. She has to go home. They let her know to pack her stuff because of the situation. And it's a couple show. So who else was she going to couple with, right? So she does end up having to go home. She packs her bags. The girls, ladies, we are so damn funny. They acting like they knew this girl for 17 years, but y'all know how we do when we start linking. So she's crying. I think she was really crying out of possibly embarrassment. I came all of this way. I really like this guy. I did not expect it to go south like this. To me, it felt like a little bit of embarrassed, but also I really wanted this to work. She tells everybody goodbye. The fellas are just kind of like, yeah, we get it. He got to go. She got to go because, who is she going to link with? And so everybody begins to say their goodbyes. Then we have Sienna and I wish I had my notes, y'all. Sienna and her guy, he lives in Florida. She lives in New York. He has a 4-year-old and a 13-year-old. So a lot of the reason they can't meet up is because of the distance. Now, I will say that if you don't have children and you get with somebody who does, their children should be their priority. Now, if they're older, like 26, 20, that's different. The kids are older. But if they have children, young children under the age of 18, their children should be their priority, not you. Anybody who is dating someone with a child and wants to be the priority, you got your priorities messed up. Their children are going to be the priority. I think Sienna does understand that. She just wants to see him more. So they're trying to arrange a trip. But whenever you date somebody with kids and they're small, you usually are going to have to be putting in most of the sacrifice because their time is going into their kids and their money is too. So, yeah, you have to think about that. But Sienna is cool and down for a trip. So they're trying to arrange something. Let's see what else is up. Chris is a son of a bitch and old girl needs to get out while she still can. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't think I've ever went that far. But what he's doing is something that I'm familiar with and something that I also used to fall for. But it's not funny. It's not cute. And he is going to break your heart, sweet girl. And I can say that. I say it with almost confidence. I do. I almost say it with confidence. You know, I always am willing to be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong on this one. So they talk about what happened the other night when Chris was letting the guys know that they are not in a committed relationship. He talks to multiple women. And that's true. They are on the same page about the fact that they're not together technically. However, she felt like he was doing too much and he was. Chris says that she's making all of that up. Like, what are you talking about? I wasn't doing too much. We're not together, right? We're not together. I told you I don't really trust women. And she was like, well, why are you here? To build trust. To build, like, he's talking to her as if she's stupid and everything that she's feeling is coming out of thin air and she's not really feeling the way that she's actually feeling. She's just being a baby about it. He doesn't say that until later. But you're not really feeling this. Like, be specific about what you're saying. Be specific. So she tells him he's doing too much. And he was just like, I don't really think I was doing too much. And so she's getting irritated with him. Once he gets the emotion out of her, that's when he starts talking it down. Oh, you know, I'm not good with like a lot of emotions. I'm not really an emotional person. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And the way that you're using your emotions right now is you're practicing a lot of avoidance and projection. So you are an emotional person. You just express your emotions differently, but you definitely are. And he's trying to talk her down and being like, you're such a baby, yo. Like, didn't we have a good time the other day? Didn't we enjoy each other? So now she's softening because she is remembering the good times and she doesn't want to seem like she's overreacting. Maybe she didn't see or feel what she thought she saw. You saw everything and you felt everything that you thought. But you're going to fall for this because I don't think you know any better yet. But yeah, he's talking you off the ledge. He's sweet talking you. He got you upset. He had you questioning yourself. He got you emotional. And now he's walking it back so he can get you right back where he wants you to be. Annoying. And another thing, what are you talking about, Sandia, that you're going to fight for it? Fight for what? Y'all have barely been talking for a full 3 months. There's nothing to fight for. I don't want to hear anybody else talking about, I'm ready to fight for this. I'm ready to fight. No, you don't need to do any fighting. It's the very beginning. If you're fighting in the very beginning, get the hell out. Because these supposed to be the good times. This is a honeymoon stage. Okay, next we have the group meeting up with the coaches. And they're doing different positions, Kama Sutra positions. Now, at first, I didn't think that this was productive. I still don't really think it was productive because it's making you think about sex. But they're trying to get them to think about intimacy. But I don't know if that was achieved with every couple. So Sandia and Chris go first. Theirs was pretty intimate. And the position they chose was pretty intimate. Y'all know I'm about to butcher these names. And I'm going in random order. Of course, the preacher's kids, Diamond and Big Aaron, they were, talking about they didn't mind being watched at all. Brandon and Sienna had a little bit of trouble. Brandon said he was bored. Sienna looked uncomfortable. I think that this is an exercise that's better done. Like, I wish they could have just took everybody to their own little private area to do it, discuss it, and then discuss it with the group. Some people you could tell just felt a little weird about people watching them while they did it. And Sienna seemed like one of those people. And maybe Brandon was too. I'm not really sure. Is her name Joanna, the girl from Chicago, and little Aaron? She don't like him. And I don't like her. I think that her attitude is very vulgar. I think she played too much. I think she has a lot to say about what other people have going on. But we need to address the fact that she don't really like this boy like that. And then Aaron is not vocal enough. He doesn't speak up. He acts as if he doesn't know she don't like him like that. It's like he don't see it. And maybe he knows another side of her. But either way, y'all came here to get closer. And it doesn't look like she's going to do that at this time. They choose a position where they're not facing each other. He's doing the position wrong. I don't know. I'm not seeing it for these two. Then we have, and I probably shouldn't have said I don't like her, but I meant it. Now, the next group, Am I missing somebody? I'm missing somebody. Oh, Greg and Millie, they went, and theirs was pretty good too. I don't recall theirs being bad. It was just kind of insignificant. I don't remember exactly what happened, but they were cool. So the people who had the most trouble was little Aaron and Joanne, whatever her name is, Joe, and Brandon and Sienna about the intimacy part. So when they move forward, Brandon and Sienna have a conversation. Sienna talks about how she isn't really a fan of Florida. She wouldn't really want to move to Florida. And they need to kind of discuss what they would do moving forward. And he was like, I thought you said you didn't have a problem. And she said, no, I don't really like Florida like that. So I wouldn't really want to do that. And he was like, oh, so it would be on me. And she was like, yeah, you couldn't come to New York. I'm definitely not trying to move in with you before we get married, though. So if I come to Florida, I'm not going to be living with you. Okay, cool. You can get your own place. But what you talking about? Because I already told you my situation with my kids. And they did show, Brandon started to say how it seems like she's always changing her mind. Like she's always going back on what she said. And they show clips of her saying that. They don't got to show the clips. I remember her saying it. I remember her saying she did not mind moving. And that's why I just said earlier in the review that when you're dating a man with small children, their children are going to come first. And it seemed like, so I thought, Sienna understood that. So I don't understand why now she's kind of backpedaling and pussy popping. Like, I don't understand why she's saying it would be on you. I'm not moving in with you. I do understand that part. Cool. But what would be the incentive of, okay, well, what are you talking about, though? You said you would be at least willing to move to the state. You ain't got to live with me. But you said you would be willing if we were to move forward. Brandon is confused. And she says, like, talk to me. Tell me what it is. Like, how are you feeling? She asked him, keep in mind, I'm yelling. She asked him how he was feeling. I want y'all to keep that in mind. Brandon turns around and says, I feel like sometimes you flip-flop on what you say. And she was like, really? And he said, yes. So she says, you're not the first person to tell me that. So he's thinking, oh, somebody else in the house told you that or what? No, not anybody in the house. In my past relationships, I've been told that. And he was just like, oh, okay. So that seems to be an issue that you're having. Like, if I'm not the only person saying it, then maybe it's like a consistent thing. Do you know she turned around and called him a bitch? I mean, she laughed it off, and so did he, but I think he laughed it off out of shock. She was just like, you're a bitch. You're a bitch, because I can't believe you're telling me that I'm inconsistent and that I flip-flop on what I say. I can't believe you're reacting like this. And you asked his opinion. You asked him how he was feeling. He told you, and you proceeded to call him the B word. I don't understand that. That makes zero sense to me. I can't even help you out here because that don't make no sense. So he took it way better than I would have. I can tell you that, because if we exchanging words, I would have fired some more off at her. Okay. I ain't never said I wasn't petty. So he's just like, I don't know where Sienna is coming from with this, because she has been inconsistent and now she's calling me names. Like, what is she talking about? She taking a step further. You're talking about me being inconsistent when you have 2 baby mothers. You were married. You were inconsistent in your marriage. You don't really care. You're not really concerned about relationships, because if you were, you would still be in that marriage. You're comparing apples to oranges. We're talking about you flip-flopping on things that you say from conversation to conversation. You're comparing that with me getting a divorce from a woman that I married when I was 20 years old. Okay? So if we're going to talk about consistency, that marriage consistency should be a separate conversation from what we're talking about in how you converse. And now you're being inconsistent again because you're jumping from subject to subject. These two are not comparisons. And he was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, my marriage, I didn't fail. That wasn't a situation I needed to be in. I was young. He's trying to explain himself. I don't think he needs to do any explaining. She looked crazy all by herself. Then when they get in front of everybody else, he wants to continue. She wants to bring the conversation up again. And he was like, are we going to talk about it? Am I going to get a chance to talk? And she was like, yeah, you'll get a chance to talk. He didn't really. While she's in front of everybody, I guess she thought she was about to have her moment to shine, but the ladies were just like, no, I don't know if I agree with that being a failure, because if you don't like a situation and it's toxic, why can't that be considered you growing? That be a part of your growth. Like, it just wasn't working. You don't have to stay in it. Now, as far as this other baby mama he just had 4 years ago, now, Brandon, I do want to know what happened there. but you know, his younger marriage, I kind of see what he's talking about. A lot of people aren't ready to, do that at 20 years old. So I get why it may have failed, but I was just like, well, not failed, but you know what I mean? He was like, I'm not going to stay in a situation like that. And good for him. So I just don't understand where she's coming from. To me, it felt like her feelings were hurt. She got called out. She didn't appreciate being called out, even though she asked for it. She doesn't communicate well. She came off like really sweet, but next thing you know, she coming out the bag on this man because he didn't like something that she did, and she didn't take that criticism well. Now she trying to get people to have her back on the conversation, and everybody looking at her like, girl, no, you crazy. Even when they separate, Greg and her are talking about more so how much Millie likes him. And then Brandon and Millie are talking about the situation that happened between him and Sienna. And he was like, I don't really know what to say. I don't know what to do. And Millie is trying to say she sees both sides. She trying to stick with the sis code, I understand, and say that she just needs somebody strong. She needs to feel heard. He said, I do listen to her. I do make her feel heard. I don't know why she's treating me this way. And she says, I get both sides. Like, she just needs like an alpha male. Millie, that's bullshit. And he just looking at her like it is, Brandon. You're not crazy. So then Millie is like, because I need like a really strong man. He said, yeah, but you're listening to me. We're having a conversation. But Millie also doesn't have any that we know of, any sexual interest in you. So, you know what I mean? You can easily listen to somebody you ain't really got no feelings towards. It might get a little different when you get your emotions involved. But either way, you should be able to effectively communicate, is Millie's point. I don't know why she's bringing up this whole alpha male foolishness. If you need all that handling, then you need to take your ass to a zoo. And that was really the end of the show, y'all. Like, other stuff was happening, but it wasn't really a big deal. And is it this next episode where they going to be meeting each other's friends and family members? Like, we always got the same. This is Will Packard. Are you back there? Are you back there behind that damn curtain? You better not be back there, because this is a very similar playlist to that doggone Ready to Love. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Am I wrong about Sienna? Because I don't feel wrong. I think he could get out. He should get out while he can. Because, you only got to show. What they said, what the coach said, believe what he show you, believe what she show you. Let's get up out of here. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all for the next one. Bye.